Coming up on KGNS News at noon, have we had enough rain? A lot of folks believe we have, but we're going to let you know how soon we're going to start to dry out. Plus, we're going to let you know about a walk you can participate in that will help raise money for Alzheimer's. And after 3 days of rain.
Yes, after 3 days of rain continues to pour down, I'll let you know about flood watches and warnings that are still in effect on your weather forecast.
We needed that rain.
Yes.
KGNS News starts right now.
Coverage you can count on from your good neighbor station. This is KGNS News at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for watching KGNS News at noon on this Thursday. I'm Richard Noriega. Leading us off this noon, after days of needed rain in our area, many feel perhaps too much rain. Laredo will begin to dry out later this afternoon as our rain chances begin to diminish. With us now to provide the latest information regarding our weather is Jessica Fernandez. Jessica, we've had buckets of rain over the past few days. What's the status right now?
Well, Richard, it's going to continue to rain, even though right now we're actually having somewhat of a break right now. It's still very, very cloudy outside. Maybe some portions of the city may be feeling somewhat of a drizzle. And of course, that humidity is way up there and the temperature is 75. Now, there is still a flash flood watch in effect for LaSalle, Webb, and Dimmitt counties. That it's going to be in effect until this evening. They actually extended it. It was supposed to end yesterday, but now they're extending it until this evening. And that's because we're still expecting another 1 to 2 inches of rain today and up to 3 inches locally. Now here in Laredo, there's also a flood warning right now, and that's due to the Rio Grande. It's expected to continue to rise above flood stage with the more rain that we get, and this has been extended to Saturday afternoon. And in Cotula, the Nueces River is also expected to rise above flood stage, to continue to rise above flood stage, and that's in effect until Sunday afternoon, but I'll tell you more in your weather forecast.
Thanks so much. As we've been reporting, the rain is causing flooding problems on the Rio Grande. The National Weather Service has a flood warning for the Rio Grande. As of last night, it was measuring at 16.3 feet, and those levels will continue to rise. Flood stage for the river is at 8 feet, and the river is expected to continue rising to near 23 feet. That's a 200% rise. At 24 feet, the water covers Los Laredos Park and is several feet deep at the Outlet Mall and Customs parking lots. Some homes near the riverbank are also at risk of seeing floodwaters threaten to come into their homes. The river is expected to return back to normal by Tuesday of next week. And the flooding doesn't stop there. The continuous heavy rain has created flooding in different parts of the city. KGNS News received footage from a viewer who caught some of the flooding on video. Now, the storm caused this street in the Sierra Vista subdivision to be submerged under several inches of water. And KGNS News was provided with other video that was shot in front of the Laredo Community College's South Campus near Lope de Vega Street. Laredo police say they have been kept busy making sure drivers stay away from all flooded areas for their own safety.
Our biggest fear was that anybody would attempt to cross some of these low water areas and be swept away, and we didn't want any of that. And in totality, it was pretty successful because of the fact that, we didn't have anybody die last night, which was a good thing.
Police advise all motorists to be extra careful when approaching a street or intersection that's flooded. It's always best to turn around for safety's sake. And the flooding also affected Nuevo Laredo as several families in several colonias witnessed floodwaters take over their homes. Some areas seeing waist-high water rushing through. One family caught by surprise saying rushing floodwaters overtook their home. Their furniture and appliances destroyed. Having lost everything, the residents said they felt helpless as they watched their belongings drenched by the fast-moving flood. The head of Civil Protection in Nuevo Laredo says 46 families were rescued Tuesday night. Some 16 people were taken to shelters. The rest managed to stay with relatives. And the Laredo Sector Border Patrol sent several agents to LaSalle County to help with rescue efforts due to flooding there. Quick rise in flood waters. Well, those quick rising floodwaters in LaSalle County trapped hundreds of oil field workers at their work sites. You're watching video of agents helping with the rescue efforts. They used their fan boats to reach the workers and help bring them to higher ground. On Wednesday, more agents were dispatched from Laredo to continue rescue efforts where some 30 additional oil field workers had to be rescued from oil rig platforms.
We're able to mobilize some boats from the border, from the river, and take them to the Tula area, LaSalle County area, and work with our Del Rio sector counterparts along with other agencies and rescue over 100 people.
There have been no other reports of any deaths or serious injuries at this point. And some roads in and around Webb County are still closed because of flooded conditions. Here in Webb County, the Columbia Toll Road remains closed at last check. Traffic is being detoured to Mines Road or Farm to Market Road 3338. And US 83 North at State Highway 44 is now open, but had been closed during the worst of the flooding. Over in LaSalle County, I-35 at the 79 to 81 mile marker remains closed. All other roads in Webb County, though, are being reported as open. For the latest road information, just visit TxDOT's website. It's www.drivetexas.org. A family in South Laredo has been trying to keep rainwater out of their apartment. Family members say they've been living at the Rio Grande Ranch apartments for about 3 years, and every time it rains, water leaks into the apartment from the bathroom, closet, and living room. They say they've asked the management company to take care of the leaks, but they were told the property is up for sale and claim that the owners will not make those needed repairs. The family did not want to appear on camera because of fear of retaliation from property management.
I would like for them to repair the damages. I mean, at least where the water won't come in, because it's every time it rains, it always happens. So my kids have to go through the same process of cleaning it up, and it's hectic.
Representatives from the Rio Grande apartment complex say they are aware of the situation, but declined to comment any further. Coming up at 5 o'clock today, Sheriff Martin Cuellar wants to draw Laredo and Webb County's attention to domestic violence via a proclamation. Plus, we're going around Laredo to find out where the worst hit areas were with regard to flooding and how families are handling it. And we're going to look into the gateway city's unemployment rate. We'll let you know whether it was affected by Harvey's wrath. Details on these stories and much more coming up on KGNS News at 5. Be sure to join Ann and Jerry right here on your Good Neighbor station. Time now to check in with our weather girl. How's it going outside?
Well, right now we're actually getting somewhat of a break. If you head outside, of course, it's still cloudy, 75 degrees, and that humidity way up there. Coming up, I'll let you know if we're going to get some more rain. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Jessica. Still ahead on KGNS News at noon, the Texas Attorney General's office starts probing complaints of price gouging that occurred during Harvey's devastation. We'll hear what he has to say about it. That's coming up. Right now, let's take a look at our traffic cam. This is I-35 at Del Mar, and as you can see there, things are moving along very, very nicely on this Thursday noon hour. We'll be right back with more after this.
It's time for your KGNS First Alert Forecast.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Fernandez, and taking a look at the conditions outside right now. If you're heading to lunch right now, if you're on your break from work, we're looking at 75 degrees and a little bit of a break from all of that rain. Of course, that humidity way up there with that dew point actually at 72. Now, we have had some record rain a couple of days ago and still into today as far as the month goes. The average for this month is usually 2.67 inches, and we've gotten almost 8 inches so far. So that tells you that this rain has just been falling and falling, and it's not the usual. And the temperatures haven't been usual either. Usually the rain makes those temperatures drop way, way down, and that's basically what has been happening all across our viewing area. We're basically in the lower to upper 70s, which usually we're somewhere in the 90s by this time or close to them. But yeah, it's definitely because of all of that rain. And taking a look at the rain right now, Laredo basically getting somewhat of a break, Ensenada as well, parts of Zapata as well. So there's not too much rain right now, but we do still expect for there to be some more rain. Taking a look at the bigger picture, this rain is covering a large part of South Texas, and it's even making its way into Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Del Rio. And because of that, of course, we still have that flash flood watch in effect that was actually extended until this evening for LaSalle, Webb, and Dimmitt counties. And that's because we're still expecting 1 to 2 more inches for today. And it could be up to 3 inches locally wherever those heavier thunderstorms are. There's also a flood warning in Laredo for moderate flooding because the Rio Grande has been rising above flood stage, and it's going to continue to rise if we continue to get more rain, and that has been extended to Saturday afternoon. Now, in Cotula as well, there's also a flood warning, and that's for the Nueces River, again, continuing to rise above that flood stage, and that's in effect until Sunday afternoon. Now, taking a look at why we've been having all of this rain is because this frontal boundary, this is a cold front, it's moving southward towards our area as well as that low pressure, and that's why we just continue to get more rain. Now, taking a look at planning out your day. For the bus stop forecast for your drop-off, we're looking at an 80% chance of rain. And taking a look at your day planner, 80% chance of rain through the evening. Once the evening starts, that goes down to 40%. So probably tonight there's going to be a less chance of rain, probably not pouring down as much. And as for your 7-day forecast, rain in the forecast for today and tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow it's less. The weekend clears back up until the beginning of next week. We have that 30% chance of rain. Now, you have to be very careful if you're driving in the rain. Make sure to turn around, don't drown, avoid hydroplaning, and keep distance with vehicles. Back to you, Richard.
Thanks so much, Jessica. We have some breaking news to bring to you folks. The Laredo Fire Department wants to put out a notice to families who live near the river. Your house is not at risk of flooding. As we mentioned to you earlier in our newscast, the river will crest to about 24 feet later today. Authorities say there are no threats to any residents at that level. They will start evacuating people, though, when the river reaches to 30 feet. That's when it will become a problem. Authorities are mentioning that there has been rumors of evacuations in Los Martinez neighborhood, but that is not the case. They are asking people not to worry about their homes at this time. In other news, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton paid his first visit to Laredo yesterday. Paxton is pursuing price gouging complaints against businesses when Texas was hit by Hurricane Harvey. While visiting Laredo, KGNS News asked State Attorney General Ken Paxton about the 3 lawsuits that have already been filed, and he's convinced that there will be more lawsuits to come. When asked if he'd heard about the $10 gas here in Laredo, Paxton said he was aware of the situation but couldn't comment until a thorough investigation had been conducted. Price gouging is a crime, and any business found guilty will be punished accordingly.
We received over 5,000 complaints. That's a lot of complaints to investigate. We can't just go file a lawsuit without doing the investigation. So a lot of our investigations are starting. We couldn't initially start investigations because we had the flooding, so we actually couldn't get into the places and talk to the people we needed to. So we're starting that. My guess is you'll ultimately see, beyond these 3 lawsuits, you'll probably see several hundred lawsuits filed.
Paxton also got to see how our law enforcement agencies are doing when it comes to protecting the border. He says he was very impressed with the cooperation between local, state, and federal agencies regarding drug and human smuggling cases. He also commented on the fact that immigration detentions are down approximately 60% because of that cooperation. In other news, a new FBI report says the U.S.-Mexico border is safe when you compare it to Washington, D.C. and other parts of the country. The FBI's 2016 crime report says, overall, violent crime rates rose by 4% across the country. But for border cities, the crime rate remained constant. It shows Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio's murder rate is more than twice the murder rate of Laredo. As for robberies, it says Laredo's rate is lower than Houston and Dallas. Congressman Henry Cuellar says this study shows that the border is indeed safe.
You know, people need to realize that it's safer here. Do we have problems in Laredo in the border area? Of course we do. But it's not the war zones that the Republicans paint when they come down to the border.
Now, Cuellar says he hopes these numbers helps people rethink what they may have heard about Laredo. If you'd like to take a look at that report, you can go to our website, kgns.tv, and click on the Extras tab. A Laredo Justice of the Peace creates a new program aiming to reduce truancy at United Independent School District. It's called TRIP. That's an acronym for Truancy, Reduction, Intervention, and Prevention. And the mission is to address what's causing the excessive, unexcused absences. Any parent who fails to require a child to attend school as required by law commits an offense and faces fines. Through this new TRIP program, the judge wants to prevent further problems that couldn't arise when kids skip school. And Laredo ISD is offering free flu vaccines for students. Those flu clinics are for eligible students at all LISD campuses. Elementary school students have their flu vaccine scheduled at their schools. Parents must accompany these children on the day of the scheduled vaccine. Middle and high school students must submit a signed pre-consent form. Parents do not need to be present for those students. Preventative Health Solutions will also be at the different LISD flu clinics. They will provide flu vaccines for children, parents, and staff with private medical insurance. For a list of dates and sites for the flu clinic, just log on to the Laredo ISD website. Next, you can join the fight for Alzheimer's First Survivor. We're going to tell you how you can register for the Walk to End Alzheimer's when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back, friends. Alzheimer's affects so many families, and although pharmaceutical companies are researching new ways to treat it, it still remains a serious and debilitating disease. However, there is a group of concerned Laredoans who want to make a difference, and you can help by getting involved in the Walk to End Alzheimer's that will take place this Saturday. And here to tell us all about this very worthwhile fundraiser is the person in charge of it, Melissa Guerra. Thanks for being here, Melissa. And you have a friend that's here to support you.
Thank you, Richard.
Yes.
This is Nidia. She's my co-chair.
That's awesome. Well, you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
The word's getting out, and I know that you've got something going on tonight to kind of inspire people.
Yes, we actually have something going on tonight at Chick-fil-A at 5118 McPherson from 5 to 9. If you show up with a coupon, part of the proceeds from 5 to 9 will be designated for the Walk to End Alzheimer's on Saturday.
And this is the what annual again?
Second annual.
The second annual already.
Yes. Yes, our first one, we were expecting about 300 people. Over 700 showed up. We're expecting that tomorrow, Saturday.
Let's hope that and more. Well, you know, folks are watching right now. There's some shots from last year.
Yes.
I can't say enough about how important this is for anybody who has Alzheimer's in their family. I have it in my family, and it's a very tough disease to deal with.
Yes.
I know that you all have been very instrumental in doing a lot of things for people with Alzheimer's. What will happen with the money that you raise through this particular event?
87% will actually go straight to research. Which is a huge number for most nonprofits. Very small percentage is used for admin, and very small percentage is used to put on functions like the Walk to End Alzheimer's and advocate for Alzheimer's.
In this particular walk, tell us, walk us through the process for getting involved. If they can't make it tonight for the kind of inspirational get-together at Chick-fil-A, what do they need to do the day of the event?
They can just show up. If you get online at alz.org/walk and sign up to walk, your name will be on the list. Registration will be a lot easier, but you can still show up on Saturday. We're going to have plenty of people to help us with registration.
Yes, I know it's such an important, this is probably one of your biggest fundraisers for the year, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Walks like these take place at over 600 communities around the country.
That is so awesome. Again, you can see their registration begins at 7:30 in the morning. The opening ceremony begins at 9, and the walk actually starts at 9:30. So I guess anybody gets there between 7:30 and 8 is okay?
Yep.
All right. And there was a number there on the screen. You went kind of fast.
Yes, 693-9991. If you need a coupon for Chick-fil-A tonight, you can text 324-0013 or 693-9991.
What about if they just show up?
They can just show.
Not so easy.
You got to have the coupon.
Have to have the coupon first. Okay.
We can't hand out the coupons, unfortunately, tonight.
I hear you. Hey, well, you're doing a great thing for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being
Thanks
here.
a lot.
Nidia, thanks for your support. All right. Coming up, you can get your pets or farm animals blessed this weekend. We're going to tell you more about the Blessing of the Animals event when we come back. But right now, why don't we take a look at today's birthdays? Hello again, folks. Pet owners will get a chance to express their love and respect for their animal friends this weekend at the 8th annual Blessing of the Animals at St. Peter's Plaza. And joining us today is Bertie Torres with Gateway Gatos to tell us more about how you can get your pet blessed. How you doing?
Hello, Richard.
It is fantastic to see you again, Bertie. I know you're very involved with not only the Gatos in Laredo, but also the Blessing of the Animals. I think something that's very special to pet owners because they actually get to have their animals blessed by a priest.
Yes,
right?
by a priest. It's Father Escalante of St. Peter's, and the event will be at St. Peter's Plaza from 4 to 5, and it's our 8th annual event. It's a celebration of the Feast of St. Francis of Assisi, and we have T-shirts and St. Francis of Assisi medals available with a donation. And all donations will go to help financially all cat community caretakers to neuter and spay their cats.
So important these days. I know that the fact that we have such an overpopulation of cats and dogs, but you're doing your best to get the cat population down where it should be.
In a humane way.
Yeah, very good, very good. And I know since this is the 8th annual, who organizes this?
Well, we do. We
it's
do.
Part of
well,
your
mostly me.
Organization? Yeah.
but
you're the one.
But the Gateway Gatos is a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, and we organize it, and of course St. Peter's, Father Escalante, our new priest. This is the 2nd year, and he loves animals. He has a small little dog. He loves animals. So when he came from Zapata, he said yes, he would take over for Father Toby. Father Toby is in San Francisco Javier, and he blesses each individual animal.
Now, why don't you tell our viewers what animals can they bring?
Oh, it can be farm animals or pets. It can be birds, fish. Some people have taken piglets and rabbits and cats, dogs, and birds and all kinds of animals.
How about snakes?
Snakes
Even
can
snakes,
be taken.
as long as they're kept in a safe environment.
And just make sure to take your pets in a leash or harness or cage.
That's beautiful. And I know that, you know, obviously St. Francis is the saint of animals.
Yes, he loved animals.
Yes.
He called all animals brothers and sisters.
Well, and they are.
Yes.
And let's face it, for a lot of us, animals are part of the family.
Part of the family. And one of the ways to show our love for them is to bless them.
Very quickly, again, it happens when?
Sunday, October the 1st, from 4 to 5 p.m. at St. Peter's Plaza.
If you have any questions, call the number on your screen, it looks like
286-7866, and that's my cell phone.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see that. Thanks so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
All right, baby.
God bless you.
God bless you. Stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back, folks. Before we go, let's go ahead and get another look at our 7-day forecast with Jessica. What's going on?
So, yes, it's going to continue to rain today, Thursday, with that 80% chance of rain.
Wow.
For tomorrow, we have that 40% chance of rain. Things clear back up Saturday through Sunday. Sunday's going to be a nice day, so is Monday. But Tuesday into Wednesday, that 30% chance of rain goes back up.
Facing all that still.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Jessica. That's it for us, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you again tomorrow at noon.